shit. Oh my gosh, that was so epic.
I think that's it.
There he is.
You guys ready? Let's pull it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there!
600!
600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just.
So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Just use a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
No, you can. Hello once again. I guess I'm doing the oh, is my microphone on tonight? That's the first question. It's not on, is it? Okay, yes, yeah, it is. Yes, we got something right this week. Anyhow, hello again. This is Derek. I'm David. This is Eric. And together we're Derek. And we're going to talk about what's the latest in Tesla news. As you can see, we have our remote control Hot Wheels Cybertruck case making a guest appearance, though it's not strapped in. But we are going to talk about what's new in Tesla. And it's going to probably be a short video tonight just because we are going to be live again tomorrow for the first quarter shareholders meeting, which is at 2:30 Pacific, 3:30 Mountain, 4:30 Central, and 5:30 Eastern. So we're going to go over that.
It's going to be a fun one tomorrow.
Yeah. And so first off, like we usually do, we're going to thank any referrals we have. We had Jordan, Josephine, and May. I don't know if those were all from the past week, but one of them was from a few weeks back. We didn't want to leave them out, but thank you, Jordan, Josephine, and May, for using our referral code, and congratulations on your new Tesla purchase.
Woo, woo! Congratulations, everybody. Okay, so let's jump right into it.
Yes, shareholder meeting tomorrow, and we're gonna cover that. We're gonna kind of do it like we've done before, probably go live a little bit beforehand. We'll listen to it, and then we'll reconvene after, talk about it, what we heard, what we didn't hear. I'm hoping for a lot, though. Like, I'm really kind of hoping we get some S and X updates, because we're going on, what is it?
3 months.
Like
was it
4
the last,
months.
No, it was the last shareholders meeting.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
When they mentioned that it was coming out.
Yeah, but this 18-day shutdown, which started in late December, has turned into 5 months almost now.
Yeah. So we'll have to look. We'll have to check the website too, because remember before the shareholder meeting last time, they started rolling out those changes, so everybody knew what to ask about.
Yeah. So we'll definitely keep that up, but hopefully we get some news on the SNX, because so many people want that. Maybe we'll hear some Cybertruck news. Maybe. Could it be that the RC Cybertruck came out just in time for the shareholder meeting?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
And it did make an appearance last week. We saw it at the Gigafactory.
It did.
In Austin.
So maybe we'll hear some Austin Gigafactory updates. I don't know. But we do expect profitability. I think that's the big thing for, obviously, Tesla and hopefully this quarter. Even though they really didn't deliver many S and X's because they could only deliver what they had in inventory, I still think that given how many cars they produced, hopefully we'll still see profitability for yet another quarter.
And we're hoping that they'll have, again, finally some news, because Elon had mentioned they're going to have a call. We still haven't had the call. They're not going to go into details, I don't think, with the SNX tomorrow, but hopefully we'll have some additional information. Hopefully he'll give an update as to why they've been delayed. I don't think he's going to go into details about all the new technology we might be seeing, but we'll see, because we have a few more hints of what might be coming, and it'll be interesting to see if that's confirmed.
Yeah, but kind of like you were talking, release little things, little breadcrumbs along the way to keep people interested, because I think a lot of the hype on the new SNX kind of died out.
Yeah, it's been waiting 3 months, and
here we are.
Still don't have a delivery date, but one of these days.
Yep. Anyway, if you didn't see, we got the Cybertruck. Oh, I still have gravel falling out of this thing. Played around with it, really kind of messed up the bottom. YOLO, it's fun. It's a toy. So this is the RC Cybertruck. It's smaller than I expected. Wow. It's okay. But if you didn't check out that video, or you're not following me on Twitter, go check out Twitter. And we're doing a giveaway for some of the smaller 1/64th scale. I'm looking for one.
I'm sure we have them around.
I think I have them upstairs.
Oh, well.
But I'm giving away some of those off Twitter, so if you haven't entered that, definitely do so. And we'll probably do like a giveaway maybe later in the week on like Instagram and stuff like that. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
Didn't you say you're also going to give away for, or do a giveaway for like the earnings or something like that? You'll have to announce that tomorrow, I guess, before the meeting.
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow, actually tonight after this live stream, I'll throw it up on Twitter, and whoever can guess like the profit for Q1 2021, whoever's the closest before it's announced, obviously, I'll give another like 1/64th scale model away. So keep an eye out for that too, because you don't it's free stuff. We're even paying for shipping, so literally everything is free. Are you gonna wrap it from Diego? I don't know. Should we, Diego? I'm thinking if we wrap it white.
Oh,
maybe.
Then it would match everything else, but we'll see. Let's put some decals of some sort on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it does, by the way, if you didn't see the video, it does come with little window decals of the broken glass. From the ball. So.
It's
attention to detail.
When I was making that video and I pulled up Elon smashing that glass again, or Franz smashing it in Elon's comment, I was just laughing. I was just editing my video, laughing to myself. It was pretty funny. So in the week of Tesla news, we have yet another price increase. This is the third or fourth week in a row.
Yeah, and this is something we had, they're kind of doing it slowly, like nobody's going to notice, but we're thinking it's because the federal tax credit is probably coming back imminently, and they're just they don't want to raise the price to, all at once, so they're just kind of doing it here and there. And while that's, a little unfortunate for people who don't have their orders in yet, look forward. Hopefully we'll be getting news on that tax credit soon. And again, if you are waiting for the tax credit, hold off on the order until it's confirmed, because you don't know yet if it's going to be retroactive. It might be only for vehicle purchases going forward. Yeah,
it's just, we're thinking maybe these price increases I know there's been a lot of like shortages of chips and different parts around the world, so it could be part of that, but it could be also that maybe Tesla has a good inkling that this rebate is going to come back to the US. And they don't want to raise it all up at once because that obviously looks very sus. So if they do it a little bit at a time, it's kind of like meh. But yeah, they definitely keep hiking them up. So something to keep in mind. Next up, so I don't know, it kind of hit the news the other day, but there's this big car show in China and some people made a scene, like a scene. And this lady, basically her shirt was talking about like the brakes don't work.
Yeah, like total brake failure or something like that.
I guess it's because, was it her husband? Or no, sorry. The father of a protesting woman crashed into 2 cars in February and injured 2 people in a Tesla Model 3. He was driving about 73 miles an hour, 118 kilometers an hour in local areas, well above the limit, and they were claiming that the brake system failed. Well, Tesla released the data, and it showed the driver did apply the brakes.
And even that the emergency braking system kicked in to help slow the speed down as well.
Exactly. So this is like, we've seen this so many times.
Again and again.
It's kind of become just like, oh, here we go again. But it's a lot of people like blaming Tesla for things. But the great thing is Tesla has all these logs. So
you'd think that they learned by now that Tesla has the data. Yeah, I mean, we're not saying Tesla's perfect. Maybe there could be an accident or something caused by the car. But if somebody's going to claim total brake failure, they have to have some proof behind that, because Tesla has proof that the brakes were activated. I mean, you can see like by the millisecond or whatever what the speed is and what the power of the braking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
so to give
Tesla
you an idea,
has this data.
The time between where my mouse is here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these logs here is not even half a second. To put that into perspective. So it's basically one of these like every 10th of a second or so. So it's like they have all the data. That's what's so great. But
well, at least for Tesla, or suppose, it could be good too if there is an accident involved with Tesla. It could also help the Tesla driver in some instances as well.
Exactly, and I mean, we'll talk about it briefly. I don't want to dwell on it too much because yes, 2 people did lose their life
at a different accident.
Different accident down, I believe it was Texas, right? Yep. And there's been a lot of talk about that. And originally, all the headlines posted by news outlets were driverless Tesla crashes killing 2 men or 2 people. And it's not funny. The interesting thing is Elon even took to Twitter and said that car initial logs show that Autopilot wasn't engaged. FSD hasn't even been purchased. And if you look at where the house it left was and where the accident occurred, it's maybe 400 feet away.
Not really, and also it's on a street that you shouldn't be able to activate Autopilot.
Exactly.
And since they didn't even purchase it, again, makes it more likely they didn't turn it on. But it will be interesting to see once we do get more results on that.
Details,
to see what exactly happened. I think it was probably a launch demonstration gone bad, unfortunately. But another unfortunate thing about that accident is Consumer Reports came out and did a test showing how Autopilot safety features can be overridden and how you can unsafely drive your Tesla on Autopilot. It's unfortunately they did that because they're showing, that you can do it. But the good thing is the Tesla didn't crash. The Tesla went fine. It worked, and it showed that the driver was not even in the car, and they didn't have an accident.
Exactly, but like this is what Consumer Reports put out. They're
showing people how to override it.
Like that disregard for all the safety measures.
Not very responsible.
It's something that we have never shown on the channel like that. And something I don't do. I know some people that put weights on their steering wheel or whatever. I don't agree with it. I've never done it. The safety measure is there to protect me. So I might as well make sure I use it. But the fact that they like put this out there and then the Ford CEO and everybody started bashing Tesla, saying like Tesla shouldn't allow this to happen and da 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 da. But in the grand scheme of it, what Consumer Reports showed actually, to me, helps Tesla because it did not get into an accident.
Exactly.
And they blatantly overrode all the safety measures.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Another thing too is like, this is, as Elon had tweeted out the day of the accident a little over a week ago, is that you're like 1/10, or if you're on autopilot, you have like 1/10 as much chance of having an accident as if you're. And unfortunately, I saw headlines where they totally changed the number and said it's 10% more. And it's really unfortunate that people don't understand numbers. And then, kind of with the telephone game, all these different websites are reporting on this accident, and they're reporting inaccurate data and getting it from one, and then just keep reporting it. So hopefully, we'll get the real data and the real results of this accident in the future. But we still use autopilot. We drove to the airport today, drove back.
Yeah.
Works fine. But again, we're not trying to override the safety features.
Exactly. They're there for a reason, and I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be one of those people. So we always make sure we're promoting people using autopilot in the safest manner, and doing stuff what Consumer Reports posted is not responsible to me. They should have better control of that. But there's also some shady stuff going on the back end of who's running Consumer Reports now and everything. I won't get into that. If you're interested in that, I've been retweeting some things and tweeting about it, so you can check it out there. Next up, so a fun feature we actually saw on our account is there is now vehicle history. So before, like our Tesla account online, if you had sold a vehicle, it would completely disappear from your account. All your documents would. So there was actually a few instances where some of the cars we didn't keep very long, and I still needed to get info for my accountant and doing taxes and all that, and I couldn't because all my documents had disappeared and I couldn't find them elsewhere.
Online, yeah.
So I actually had to reach out to someone I know at Tesla to be like, hey, can I have the documents for this VIN or this VIN? And he was able to do that, which is great. But the nice thing is you can now do it all on your account page. So if, like, on your account page, if you scroll down, you'll see your Tesla shop history, which is kind of scary. David, don't look at mine. And then you can see your previously owned vehicle history, as well as if you're adding a car that you had bought from a third party.
Transfer ownership, yeah.
And then if you click on view for previously owned, you can actually see cars, and some of them will say traded in, some will say transferred. It's actually quite nice because if you click view documents, you can still see like your original MVPA, and all like your original docs. So if you need them for tax purposes or anything about that, it's there.
One thing we noticed is it does not have all purchases so far. So it seems, I don't know if it started in 2018, but we're not seeing some of our cars that were transferred before a certain date. So hopefully that will be added at a future date. I'm sure Tesla still has the data. They just haven't turned it. They just haven't loaded it all into the system yet or made it available so we can see it. Because I know that on my account, it's only showing 2 vehicles and there should be at least 3. And on Eric's account, he's missing at least a couple vehicles as well.
Yeah. The funny thing, though, is on Twitter, we got roasted because I posted it.
Oh, yes.
So Trevor said we might be the litmus test because nobody has owned as many as you have.
I'm sure there's a couple of. I'm sure there's.
Patrick said there might be a character digit limit, so maybe that's why we're not seeing them all.
Yeah.
We even got roasted by Abstract Ocean. If they're in the chat, they said it probably need to enable infinite scroll for your history. It was pretty funny to see the comments on that.
Yeah. But it's nice that
we can take it.
It's nice that they have that. Hopefully they're not done with it. Hopefully they will add those missing cars just for, especially, I think it's probably like older vehicles or transfers that were done several years ago. Because it used to be you had to contact Tesla and it would take several weeks to transfer ownership. But now they have it so that when you do get in a new car, you can go right to the form and transfer it yourself. Or initiate the process at least. So hopefully it's just older cars and they'll get that added eventually.
Definitely. And then next up, so we've kind of covered solar roof price increases a little bit last week.
One thing about solar roof. So we talked about solar roof and Tesla really bumped the price up and it was really upsetting to a lot of people because a lot of people had signed contracts for weeks or months or sometimes even over a year.
Yeah.
And we heard that Tesla bump the prices up because of labor, but also for the cost of materials, and they basically sent out new contracts to everyone and said take it or leave it. And then after our live stream last week, Tesla started calling people and said, hey, we'll throw in a free Powerwall if you sign the new contract. So some people did receive calls and were offered the free Powerwall. But we heard that now later in the week, last week, it sounds like Tesla might have rolled back those price increases. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but I've seen several people have said that that new updated price has gone away, and it sounds like Tesla, they still see the old contract that they had signed, months or years ago. And so it might be that Tesla's got a lot of flack on this and they decided to roll back, and it's cost of doing business, but it would be better to maintain a good customer relationship and honor the contract than to totally lose potentially thousands of customers.
Well, yeah, it just upsetting a lot of people. Yeah. Not great for business in general. But we actually have a friend, Mace. He might be here in chat. He actually accepted the new price, but still ended up getting a Powerwall after he already accepted it, which is great. I believe, right?
But so let us know, anybody in chat, once we're done with the news, let us know if you've run into the price increase and if it has since disappeared and if you're able to go ahead and get it installed with the old price.
Yeah, but kind of on that note, Tesla will no longer be selling Powerwalls individually.
For the time being.
Be able to get a Powerwall, and Mace is here.
Okay.
For the time being, to be able to get a Powerwall, you will have to buy solar or solar roof. I don't know what that means for people that have already bought Tesla solar. It sounds to me like you won't be able to add just a Powerwall, at least not right now.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past where sometimes they require stuff, but also it sounds the other way, that if you buy solar, you have to get a Powerwall.
Exactly.
And so it's like both ways. You can't just get one or the other. And I think everybody should have a Powerwall, just because your solar system will not work at all. If the grid goes down, your solar system will not work. So it's good, in my opinion, to have a Powerwall. And we have heard in the past week, people have noticed that a new Powerwall version 2.1 has come out. And Elon has been doing some tweeting about that. He says that it will allow a higher power output. And he used some words like capacity, I believe, which caused some people to believe that the kilowatt hours might have increased, but it sounds more like it's going to be able to output more power, like up to 7.5 kilowatts. And it remains to be seen. They might be coming, since Tesla did recently come out with their own inverter, and also they have the Gateway 2, and now they're might be upgrading the Powerwall again. But it looks like Elon has also mentioned they're going to be doing something to simplify installation, and that all solar power will be going directly through the Powerwalls. So there might be a possibility that they're going to get rid of some inverters, because for those you don't know, if you have a Powerwall and you have solar, you have inverters that convert the power from the DC to AC, and then it sends it back to the Powerwall that then converts it back to DC. And there's all these conversions going down. So it loses a little bit of power in the conversion. So it might be they might be able to remove some of those inverters and just take the power, send it straight to the Powerwalls. And it remains to be seen, though. But it might be because of the changing laws that for power generation and storage that are happening in certain states, but also on the federal level with some tax credits that are potentially coming out for solar and battery storage. So it's some definitely interesting news, but it's unfortunate that they're tying those together. Again, I think it's good to get both together, but for some people who might already have solar, might just want to add another Powerwall, or vice versa.
It's going to be a bummer.
Yeah, right now it sounds like just they have such a strong demand that they're forcing you to get both. But I think it's probably going to be temporary. Hopefully in the future they'll split it back up and allow you to just get individual products.
Yeah, I mean we've seen them do a bunch of different changes in the past. So to me this is just like kind of another iteration to at least allow people who are getting solar to get the most out of it, because you still get a lot out with just solar, but without Powerwalls, you're not being able to power your own home or facility at night.
I know some people aren't interested in that, or some people say they have free power. If they're in Texas and you might have free power, or they never had a grid outage in 20 years. It's like, well, we never had a grid outage for more than a few hours in the last 25 years I lived in this town. But in the last 2 years, we've had at least 2 outages that were 48 hours long. But we didn't have a problem because we had our solar and our Powerwalls. And we've had several other outages, and we've had problems, which we still need to do in that, finish up that solar video, but we had really dirty power coming from our grid because the transformer was undersized, and that was causing issues with our system last year. Fortunately, we haven't seen that this year because we did have a new transformer installed, and we'll go into details on that eventually, but definitely, we do appreciate our solar system. And speaking of which, we'll just do a quick solar recap. We had some snow again at the beginning of the week, but we did still have 4 days this past week where we had really good solar production, and that allowed us to have a surplus. So we generated more solar on 4 days than we did than we consumed. And so far in the month of April, we're actually at 124% offset, where we've generated 2,052 kilowatt hours of solar, of solar energy, but we've only used 1,654 kilowatt hours. And so far for this year, we are actually still slightly below, we have a slight deficit, but we're only 440 kilowatt hours away from offsetting all of our usage so far. So maybe in the month of May we will have positive, and then we should be positive going forward. And we're still at 94% offset from the time we installed our solar back in 2018. 94% of our energy usage has been covered by our solar system.
Yeah.
So we're still happy with. We just have regular panels. We don't have the solar roof. At the time we looked at the solar roof back in 2018, it was still like more than twice what it would cost for panels. We do like the look of the panels, the solar roof, but we're not going to be upgrading anytime soon, just because it's not cost effective, and our solar system's going to last for another couple decades. So it doesn't make sense to tear it off and put on solar roof.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, we're super happy with our solar panels. Solar roof would have been nice because it just looks a little better.
It looks nice, yeah.
But in the grand scheme of it, super happy that we were able to get the solar panels, and we've been really happy with how they've been treating us. And I think they actually look much better than most people's solar that I see. Yeah. Not gonna lie. That's basically it for the news.
Yeah.
We made it.
Down, so
we have our safety patrol.
Yeah, she's checking in, though. She's not wearing her safety vest today.
No safety vest today.
It's okay.
They've been playing outside, so it's been kind of warm. Let's see. John, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that.
I gotta find the. Oh, there it is, right there. But we'll wait until Layden's.
Yeah, Layden's laying down, so we don't want to wake her right now. We'll get you.
Give him another shot of digital.
Oh yeah, there we go. Anyway, real quick, he said, "Am I the only one in the neighborhood that has a Tesla? I have a bunch of neighbors come up and ask me about this crash. I told them people screwing around, not Tesla's fault, and they were cool." Yeah. And see, it's the issue is all the news media outlets twist everything to basically get all those clicks.
Yeah,
and they do it at the expense of Tesla.
And you hear all the bad news, but once the facts come out, you never hear them come back.
They never redo a story.
Yeah, or if they do, it's like it's not big news because you're like, oh yeah, it was just the guy launching his car, something like that. It wasn't. So again, we don't know all of the facts on this, but from what I know of what I've seen and read, it sounds more like a driver losing control than the car having issues.
Yeah, because I guess the other thing we didn't really hit on is the way the police and fire department and everything had said the crash happened is it was going at a high rate of speed. You can't go at a high rate of speed in 400 feet.
Well, you can.
In enabling autopilot.
Yeah, not exactly, yeah.
Because autopilot will not launch the car. It just doesn't do that. So, there's so many different things that could have happened and why somebody wasn't in the driver's seat. There have been a lot of theories, some crazier than others that I've read, about potentially what had happened. Some people even said maybe it's going to become a Dateline in the future. We don't know yet. Maybe. But, I'm going to wait to pass judgment, really, until we hear the outcome of the investigation, because as of right now, for everything we know about autopilot, 4+ years of owning, 5 years,
almost 5 years,
12 Teslas and counting, it's not possible to have autopilot go that fast around that corner in 400 feet and be able to get out of the driver's seat into another seat. Doesn't work that way. So for the main thing, we're gonna just wait until we hear the outcome. But it is super sad. 2 people ended up losing their life. So that's not something to necessarily make fun of. And that's why I don't appreciate news outlets
and
using this situation for their gain.
Yeah. And we've seen over the years, there've been all kinds of other, accidents where people have been using autopilot improperly and have had accidents which were fatal. Yeah. And but again, if they follow the rules, I think that it would be a lot safer. And we don't encourage any form of overriding the autopilot safety features.
Definitely. And we have never done it ourselves.
And for those of you saying, okay, we did do a video a couple years ago, but in that case, when we did an Autopilot video, that car was actually on, it was like special effects. We were not driving the car was not driving itself when I was sitting in the back seat. It was on a trailer. And so...
Oh, the FSD video? People still comment on that video today.
Basically, but...
And say, what we did is reckless, like, the car should never be driving itself, and it's just like, oh boy.
But that car, for those who might know
up.
the Airplane, the movie Airplane, which was back in the 80s, they had like an inflatable autopilot. We purchased one from the manufacturer who made that for the original Airplane movie. We put it in the car, and we filmed an autopilot video. It was a very funny video. A lot of people got it. A lot of people thought it was very funny, but some people just went crazy and blew their top, thinking that we were, kind of like we've seen in some other videos recently, where people were like sitting in the back seat of their car and on public roads driving with autopilot enabled. We were on it was on a trailer being towed, and some really good editing make it look like the car was driving itself, but we never put anyone in danger when filming that video. And
it was just funny how people like went so crazy. I'm trying to find the video so that I can like throw it in chat. Yeah. It was funny. I'll look for it later. But yeah.
Anyways, I guess open it up for...
Justin says, do you think Elon will finally give info on SNX refresh on the earnings call?
We're
hoping because they have been awfully quiet.
Even if they don't give 100% like the tech details, because that's still going to come and probably some later unveiling, hopefully we'll get something. Just give us a little bit, a little morsel.
Exactly.
Because right now all we have is what was announced on the website back at the end of January. So it's been 3 months already, and we haven't really gotten anything since then.
No, it's been too quiet. Too quiet. And I understand things come up in manufacturing, but at least be upfront with people. I mean, we did fill out everything for the Model S. The Model X we haven't done the financing for, but for the S we did the financing in early March, and now we're going to have to do that again. And I don't like things to continually hit my credit that don't necessarily need it. So that is kind of a pain in the butt, and I'm not super happy about it. Yet here we are. Let's see. Where are we at? M4O.com. Said, may have missed it, but anyone best guess and likelihood of timing for the new federal credit? So I haven't heard anything recent on this, just that they're still trying to move forward with it. This is the unfortunate part, is it could happen in a week, it could happen in a couple months, it could happen never. It's kind of a juggling act, and I know some people are holding off on buying a Tesla until they kind of get a more definitive yes or no. Some people are kind of gambling and buying one, hoping that it'll be retroactive at least through January 1st of 2021. I don't know. I really haven't heard anything. Have you seen anything on the forums?
Not recently. I haven't seen anything new.
Okay. So I guess there we are. Let's see.
Oh, Grant pointed out that Elon will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yes. I can't believe I forgot that.
With, I think, Miley Cyrus as the musical guest.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think they could do a lot of cool, funny skits there. So we'll definitely be sure to tune in and watch that.
Yeah, so I got some people actually tweet me and ask, like, what about, like, a live viewing party or something? Unfortunately, we can't do that because they will copyright us.
Could we do it
real
on
quick?
Twitch or something like that?
Oh, no. Twitch is, Twitch copyright is kind of over as well. But what we can do, if people would be interested in it, it'd be kind of interesting, kind of not, is we could do like a reaction, as in we can watch it and the camera would just be on us though, not SNL. And then everyone else can watch it and maybe have their phone open and we can just like chat and the live stream chat. I don't know. That's about the only way we can do it, because we can't actually physically show SNL without getting
copyright
sued
strikes
into
or something like that. Yeah,
it wouldn't be worth it. But it would be kind of fun to like live, like chat with people watching it at the same time to be like, "Ooh, that was super cringe," or "Oh, that was really funny." because it's probably going to be a mix of both.
Oh, and Diego brought back, or he says, how likely you guys think that Elon will mention Doge on Saturday Night Live? I don't know, but we forgot
I think
to mention...
we're like looking like 80%.
We forgot to mention Doge, though, because somebody tweeted, basically Doge went way up a week or so ago.
Yep.
And then went back down. It's still way up since earlier this year. But somebody on Twitter said that if you would have taken that $400 and bought Doge like 4 months ago, it would now be worth $27,000. Or it would have been up to $27,000 instead of the $400.
Here we are. I have a $400 RC car instead of $27,000.
Oh, well.
But I mean, that goes for like everything. That's why you really need to make sure you're balancing out investments with like fun purchases to make sure it makes sense. Because like, look at our first Tesla, or like the first one I got, I paid cash for. It was $100.
It was, I don't know, it was over 103 plus whatever.
It was like, I think it was like 114 maybe. I don't know.
Somewhere around there.
Anyway.
You could pull up your documents. Oh, no, that one's probably not on there because, again,
That one's
it doesn't
not.
have the
Oh, no,
older-
it is on there. It was
that
on
one
there.
is on there? Okay.
Okay, I'll pull up the documents. Anyway, I paid a lot for it. It was awesome, but if I would have taken that cash and put it into Tesla stock instead of paying cash for the car, I would have several million in there.
Unfortunately, that did not happen.
Yeah. But like I'm still like happy with how things have worked out. I got to get my two-factor. Do you want to take a question real quick?
Yeah,
while I pull up my
Rob Stack is asking about any update on the Abstract Ocean Model Y mud flaps, because I know you had mentioned those a couple. You did a test video.
Coming soon.
Yeah, you did a video a couple weeks back, and I think you're just waiting on releasing that. Do they?
Yes, just waiting for all the stock to hit. Hopefully soon.
Stuff is delayed, as
Yeah.
we've seen with manufacturing and stuff.
It's a lot of shipping delays, to be honest. But I will. I think
we're just waiting on the video
right
and
now.
stuff, and once the video is out, that means that they have them in stock and ready to ship.
Yes. As soon as they're in stock, there'll be the video and everything. So, but I appreciate that. Let me make sure. Okay.
No,
we still have a puppy.
We'll just.
So we're gonna do some digital. We'll get you at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Thank you, James, for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate it. It said, thanks for your help a year ago. David pointed me in the right direction. Replaced the memory on my 2013 S out of pocket. Just received a check for Tesla for the cost of the reimbursement.
Cool. Yes, we've heard.
Love it.
We actually submitted a request because we did have the MCU replaced on both of our Model S's. We haven't gotten a check yet, but we haven't gotten any.
Denied,
request denied yet. Because we did see some people have submitted the request and it's like, sorry, no. Other people have submitted requests for like the whole MCU replacement or upgrade, whether they replace it with MCU 1 or MCU 2. And some people were just totally denied. Other ones received like a check for $320, which is better than nothing. So I'd be happy, I think, with the $320 because we were starting to see the problems with the screen kind of going black or the car rebooting.
Taking a long time.
And taking a long time to reboot, especially on Scott's car because he did a lot of road trips and listened to a lot of streaming music. I don't know, that just uses, a lot of more wear and tear on his car, the S75D. But hopefully we'll be getting notification on that. But glad to hear that you got your, at least a partial refund. I don't know if you got the whole thing, but glad to hear you got that.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you that aren't familiar, if you ended up replacing your MCU memory or anything because it was running slow or being really sluggish, not working, there is a form you can fill out on Tesla's website to potentially get reimbursed if you paid out of pocket for that. Definitely look into that. It is definitely worthwhile. Let me see. I just got a text.
Did you see?
I got a text from Pete.
I was saying, Abstract Ocean, they just got like timed out from Streamlabs, but I don't know how I can show his message. But
you can't. I can look on the back end. Give me 1 second.
Well, he's saying I can see it, but I don't think I can make it public. But yeah, he says he's doing the install video on those mud flaps now, and he's I guess his Mac is being a problem. So either way, the Y flaps will be live within the next day. Oh. So there we go. So you should
I guess that's
so there's the news on the mud flaps.
Cool, yeah.
But sorry to Abstract Ocean for getting automatically muted by the chat software. Whoops.
Yep, chatbot muted. Yep. Yeah, sorry about that. That's embarrassing. Let's see. Hong said, why can't Tesla pay dividends? I don't think they're at that point yet.
Not yet.
You need to be like Apple level until you really start being able to pay dividends. Most stocks don't pay dividends.
Yeah. And it's like, it would be nice, but I can understand them wanting to reinvest all that money because they are, building all these gigafactories around the world and also expanding the supercharger network. So I never understood dividends. I like them, but I don't really see, I don't know. It'd be nice if they did it, but I don't see it happening anytime soon with Tesla.
I agree. Let's see. Matt said, if anything, we may see legislation on acceleration in the near future. Oh, that would suck.
Accelerate? Oh, because of
because of people that have had like unintended acceleration and all that. It's like, oh, please don't monitor that as well. But you never know. Alpha said, if driver was not wearing a seatbelt, he could have been thrown around in the cabin. Definitely. I don't remember, but didn't they hit a tree head on?
I don't know if it's head on, because also it said they were in between trees, so we don't know all the details yet.
There's so many like what ifs or like theories of how he could have ended from the driver to a different seat, and we don't know if he was even driving.
Yeah, and we don't know who was in what seat or who was driving or what. So we're just waiting for that information and the accident results report.
Mark said, even pouch cells that are punctured don't immediately burst into flames. It takes time for short to heat up enough to cause a fire. Interesting.
Yeah,
I've always been scared of like puncturing batteries, though.
Yeah, I've seen all those videos where people like take a cell phone battery and they hit it with a nail.
Oh yeah,
don't do that.
No.
But definitely. I mean, they can happen, but they do have. Tesla did take the step years ago to protect the battery, and the number of fires has actually been quite low if you consider how many vehicles are out there. Yeah, but it can happen. But
I mean, can gasoline cars.
Exactly, in ICE cars, internal combustion vehicles can catch on fire as well.
Yeah. May said, any other car crashes barely make local news. Tesla crashes, international FUD.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's people love to hate. Ford CEO, great example. Let's see. Where was I? Chris said, super dope garage, super dope channel. Thank you. Yep. Really appreciate that. Let's see.
Do you want to mention yet what we did this morning with the at 9:45 a.m.?
We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
We'll do that at the end.
Because I see somebody's talking about if anybody bought. It's BAG is asking, did anybody buy a Mustang Mach-E? We didn't yet, but we've seen a couple of them on the road. So.
Yeah.
So some people are buying. And actually, where was that stat you showed? All the cars like EVs sold for the year so far, and was it like 60 or more % were Teslas? And then there were a few Mach-Es, but I think even then the number for the Mach-Es sold in the first quarter was almost the same as like the Model S or something. And Tesla didn't even build sell the Model S.
They didn't even build any, but yet they were still on there because they had inventory.
But they sold about the same or something. I don't remember the exact statistic, but it's amazing that
it's pretty comical.
Yeah, but it's good to see competition coming out there, and there's definitely some competition and some new vehicles that are better than others.
Yeah. Let's see. Where were we? Let's see. Johnny said, thoughts on the $2K price increase on the Model Y since the beginning of the year. Elon talks of making EVs more affordable. Then Tesla raises their prices. Again, I guess this kind of goes into, we don't really know kind of on the back end. Is it due to parts being kind of scarce right now and shipping and logistics wise, how that's going? Or is it because they have a good feeling that the tax credit will pass and they still want to pass some of that on to the end user, but maybe they can make a little bit more off of that? I don't really know.
They don't really make it directly, but it's just they get more sales. And
So I think in the end of the day, obviously making EVs more affordable is the end goal. It's going to take time because you have to be at a certain scale to be able to do that. And that's just, taking time. Let's see. Diego said, problem is the stream won't match up with the TV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'd be delayed because we've seen that sometimes in the past.
Maybe we'll just do like a Twitter.
Oh, yeah. You could just do that by chat or something.
Chat kind of thing, yeah.
Or tweet it out.
Let's see. Justin said, curious what your opinions are. What's your favorite Tesla color combination? I've been working towards the purchase of a Model 3 and have really been liking the white-on-white interior. Thoughts? You're correct.
Yeah. We bought that on several cars.
I really like the white interior because it just looks so clean, and I
bright,
love that.
yeah.
I don't really care for black interiors because they can get really hot. And it tends to feel a little bit like kind of closed off. The white kind of brightens it up a little bit. It just looks clean, different, because not a lot of car manufacturers have any kind of interior that's similar to that. And we obviously love the white exterior.
Yeah, we've bought, so over the last 5 years, we've bought 12 Teslas, and boy, how many of them? 9 or 10 of them. I think
we
9
had
of them at least
a
were,
blue one,
maybe 8 of them
a
were
silver
white.
one, a midnight metallic.
Another silver one. So we had a silver S and a silver 3.
Oh, okay. So 8 of the 12 were white.
I believe. But we've been paying for white since before it was the free color. So
Yeah.
we were paying extra when it was like $1,000 or $1,500. We still liked white. And Tesla actually had a different shade of white way back, before 2016 or even into 2016. And that's actually what I ordered as my first Model S. But in the time when I placed the order and I told them to put the order on hold because I knew that there's some new Autopilot hardware coming out, they dropped that other color of white. So I went ahead and switched it to silver. But now I have a white one again, the pearl white.
Yeah. I absolutely love the pearl white. And we take Expel Stealth and wrap it. So Expel Stealth is a paint protection film or a clear bra, basically, but it's a matte clear bra. And it kind of gives it like that frosted white look. It looks really, really good. But Expel Stealth can be kind of expensive, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Let's see. New York Dashcam said, isn't it fair use to have it in a smaller screen and shows you reacting to it? Yes, there's a fine line of how that would work.
Yeah, and the problem too is the audio is that sometimes if there might be a song or something played in
Exactly.
the background of the video or in that skit, and if you just have a few notes of that audio, they can demonetize the video. So while they might allow the video to stay up, all the money goes to that.
Yeah,
song.
it's not necessarily just the money, but some music producers, they'll just take the ad revenue, which is like whatever. But some music producers will give you a copyright strike
Exactly.
and take down your video.
And then
3 copyright strikes and you lose your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so it's not really
Gone.
worth it. Yeah,
Exactly.
So we've gone to a lot of Tesla events over the years, and sometimes we'll send live video out, and they'll be playing music in the background, while we're waiting for the event to start.
Which is what like Tesla got able and permission to use for theirs, but we didn't. So it's not like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like we just don't want the copyright strike violations just because it could lead to the loss of the channel eventually. So
Yep.
we don't want to risk it.
Luck said the price of materials has been increasing, so Tesla has to follow. Try buying plywood or aluminum. Yeah, we actually bought some wood for some projects, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like doubled or tripled in price
Triple.
recently. Yeah.
Which is nuts. So
Which
yeah.
is weird because I saw some video. I don't know how accurate it was, but the guy was saying he was a trucker and he said he.
I saw
he
that
picks
too.
up the
Was
truck-
it on TikTok?
Yeah, and
Oh.
he's like he picks up all the wood from the lumber mill. They've got
Stacks and stacks.
It's all stocked up. They're just releasing it slowly because they like to jack up the price. I don't know how accurate that is, but I don't really know why the price has gone up so much. I mean, obviously things were shut down a year ago, but a lot of stuff has gotten back to normal. So it's unfortunate that we're seeing all these price increases.
Yeah, but again, aluminum is increased, and Tesla uses a heck of a lot of aluminum. So,
Yeah, but I got
for
a
sure.
big bag of cans upstairs, so
Maybe we should take our bag of cans to our next Tesla delivery and be like, we would like to trade these in, please.
or donate them so that they can use it to build the next Cybertruck.
I'll tweet Elon and ask
Then
him
again,
if
wait,
we
the
can
Cybertruck
donate.
is stainless steel, though.
That's stainless steel, but I mean, I'm sure they'll have aluminum.
But they got
parts.
aluminum in the S, so maybe we'll do
Yeah.
it on the S delivery. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Speaking of which, we're going to be going to at least another Y delivery, I believe, next month. One of our one of our previous buyers, I guess, would be, are expanding the size of their Tesla fleet, and they will be taking delivery here, I think, next month.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be a fun one.
Congratulations. Yeah.
It'll be a fun one. I'm excited. I don't know if they're here. But
Maybe not tonight, but definitely they invited us, so we'll probably show up for that.
M4O.com said, yeah, it was Earl that said the 400 to 27,000. And then he broke his Cybertruck.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, Earl's hilarious.
Okay,
his
Amy said we
Twitter.
could call them friends, so yes, sorry. Not just
Okay.
buyers, they're friends. and we chat with them a lot, so yeah. Thank you, Amy.
Let's see. Nelson said, I purchased a demo Model Y SR direct from Tesla. This was the best decision I made. Now there's no more here in Canada. and price can't stop increase. Now there's no more. So the price is continually increasing. Yeah, I mean, buying a Tesla is a great decision if it makes financial sense for you. We have been super happy with ours.
And we've seen the price changes go both ways because like Eric was saying earlier, we've bought some of our Model S's were close to $120,000. Later on, those cars were available for $70-something thousand with even better range and more features. And so it's like Tesla was able to really bring down the price of the S and X, but they did bring down the price of the 3 and the Y. But as we've seen, for multiple reasons, they've been bumping those prices back up recently.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm seeing all the abstract ocean stuff now. God, that is so funny. Let's see. Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Said, I feel like you guys covered this, but new S be David's new daily. Well, we don't know.
We don't know yet.
That's a really good question.
And we're still waiting because originally, again, we first put in the order for the refreshed X back at like the end of December, and then a few weeks later, we're like, okay, let's get an S2. And no, we're waiting to see because originally we thought the S was supposed to be out in early February when Elon mentioned at the end of the call in January the S was going to be out right away, the X was going to be slightly delayed. So they're like, okay, Model S. And now we're like, I don't know.
So the original plan, we'll just kind of break it down. The original plan was to get the Model X because it's a good business expense with the 179 tax credit.
And we don't have an X currently. We have an S, we have a 3, we have a Y.
We sold our X shortly after we bought it in 2019 because the Raven came out almost immediately after we bought it, and we didn't want to not have a Raven basically, and didn't want the price to tank too much before whatever. Anyway, so we wanted an X, and also we want to make the meme sexy. So we need that X.
Meme, though, yeah.
It is. We've spent a fair share on memes, but here we are. So we really like the X also for like the dogs and everything. It's easier for them to get in and out since you have the Falcon Wing doors really low, blah, blah, blah. So we wanted the Refresh X, and then we saw the Refresh X was so delayed. We were like, okay, well, we can get a Refresh S in like January. And then when the Refresh X comes out in like May to June, we'll just trade it in or whatever.
And we've done that in the past with like the Model 3 and stuff, like when you sent your car to China and Japan, sorry, but you flew through China. Okay, when you sent your car through Japan, you needed a car to drive, and so we bought a car, but it turns out you didn't want the standard range plus, you needed a little more range and stuff. So we only had that car for 3 weeks before you traded it in and upgraded to a long range one. So kind of we were thinking about doing the same thing with the S. Get it, drive it, see if we want to replace the one. The nice thing though we have about the S100D and the S75D is both of those cars are still locked in with free supercharging for life. So I've never paid a penny for supercharging on either of our Model S's that we still have. And that's nice. So, but, and while they don't have the V3 speeds, charging speeds of up to 250 kilowatts, they still get close to 200 kilowatts now on charging, and that's still plenty fast for us. So, and the car, again, it remains to be seen. We don't have any details. We don't know if there's new technology that we just can't live without. So that's why we haven't committed 100%. We don't know if we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
And if it's going to replace the existing car.
Secretly, I think the best thing would be is if Scott sold his 75D, bought David's Model S, 100D.
Keep it in the family here. Yeah.
And then I got the Refresh X, sold the race car Model 3, and David got a Refresh
it's like
S.
we're playing the cup game here with Teslas, okay?
So sell 2 cars, buy 2 cars.
Yeah.
Are we on board with that?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I secretly want to happen. I don't know, though, because Tesla still hasn't done the call about what's the new tech and everything.
Because again, we talked about back in January some of the new features that we know about. We do know that it's going to have a slightly newer version of Autopilot, but we don't know if it's going to be groundbreakingly new. But they're going to finally be adding that passenger camera in the S and X, which the 3 and Y have had, since they were first released.
Yeah.
And the S and X that we've had in the past, and all of them built so far, do not have that camera. And while that's not something, I must have that, if that's going to be used for like monitoring the driver and stuff so that we don't have to necessarily use, hands-on on the autopilot all the time, then that's something that, we might want to consider getting. But we've also seen, if you go check out the FCC's website, there's some other technology that might be coming out.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's still waiting some FCC approval, but it's kind of some sort of like interior radar.
Yeah,
that
I
might
actually,
be
funny
used.
you mentioned
There you
that
go.
because I have it right here.
So to monitor the vehicle interior.
Yeah, so Tesla received approval to install short-range interactive motion sensing God, that is such a mouthful. Radar in its vehicles. I like this graphic because it really kind of shows you like where they could potentially put it, what it would look at. But it will use the 57 to 64 gigahertz frequency band in its vehicles and allows Tesla to install more powerful sensors to monitor the condition of the car's occupants, the interior, and its environment in the event of suspicious activity.
Yeah, so it would be maybe for autopilot monitoring, but also for like a safety for theft, if somebody's breaking into your car, but also for people who might accidentally leave a child, in the back seat, and it could see movement of that. So there's all kinds of uses it might have, but it remains to be seen. Will this be in the new S and X refresh? We don't know yet, but it's some new technology that Tesla is working on.
Could this have been what everything was so delayed for? Because you need permission before you go put this in a mass market product. You can't just throw it out there.
And there's all kinds of other technology too. We know about the yoke, which has been the yoke steering. We don't know. Maybe it wasn't definitely it's going to need new software for that, and other new hardware for controlling the steering. So it remains to be seen because some of the test mules have come with a regular round steering wheel. Other ones have been seen with the yoke. So we don't know if that might be holding things up. All kinds of, we definitely, the second screen, which is going to have like gaming capability. So that's again, more software issues, but also just, the chip shortage we talked about earlier. There's all kinds of things that we do know about, but we don't know what we don't know. So
we don't know what we don't know. You heard it here first, folks.
I think we've been saying that for 3 months now.
I know, right? Ryan said, anyone have luck using your audio to stream through their Bluetooth in their car? I'm driving right now and really love to hear it over my speakers. So actually, I will sometimes listen to YouTube videos. I'll just download them while I'm driving, and then I'll play them, and I just have...
Change it to the phone input?
Change it to the phone input, and then it automatically plays. So if it's not playing, that's weird.
You might try rebooting the car or rebooting your phone too.
Or just like... turning Bluetooth off on your phone and then back on. Sometimes we'll just kind of throw it through another sync kind of thing. Massicator said, have you looked at the seat covers in vegan leather from Taptez? Looks like you can get a variety of colors and they look factory. It looks interesting. Could be popular. I haven't. I've been kind of a little hesitant on seat covers and everything because there is side airbags in those seats. So... you want to make sure that you're not doing anything that would impede those airbags. And so doing like seat covers and stuff like that makes me a little nervous because you got to make sure your stitching can break at a certain pressure so that side airbag can deploy and actually help you in case you need it. So I haven't really gotten into stuff like that, unfortunately. And I really enjoy the white. But, I mean, hey, I've seen some people with, like, red interiors and all that. And, like, they definitely can look good, for sure. Layden's trying to make a bed.
Yeah.
She's like, this is not working for me. I need a new bed.
She's getting bored.
Let's see. He got it to work. I just needed Bluetooth? To go 2 other messages away. And he got
cool. Okay, good.
Glad that worked out. I'm going to kind of jump ahead. If I accidentally skip anyone's message,
okay, I'll just jump to the last one that just came in. Miguel De La Rosa was asking for our older Model S's if free supercharging remains. It does not. Basically, Tesla stopped offering transferable free supercharging at the beginning of 2017. Basically, if you ordered the car in the first couple of weeks, originally it did end at the end of 2016, but they extended it for like the first 2 weeks into 2017. So you would have had to order the car by then. These cars were ordered after that, our 2017 Model S's that we have. So basically, we have free supercharging for the life of the car, but it does not transfer whenever we sell it. So if you are interested in free supercharging, you have to look for one that was ordered before like January 15th of 2017. There's a caveat to that, though, that if the car was ever sold back to Tesla and then they like auctioned it off to another dealer, Tesla can take that supercharging away. So if you are looking for a car with free supercharging, you want to hope to buy it from the original owner who bought it directly from Tesla and do a private sale. Otherwise, there's a chance that that supercharging will not transfer when you buy it. Even though it might be listed in the listing, we've seen people all the time that buy it from Carvana and these other resellers, and they show the listing saying it has free supercharging, and then they get it, and then Tesla, as soon as they transfer the ownership, they take it away because it was a car that they had bought back and then auctioned off to Carvana.
Yeah, there have been a couple instances of that where we've seen it stripped from the car. So you definitely just have to be careful. But yeah, buying private, it should not be removed at all.
Yeah, if you're buying it private from the original owner, because it could have been gone through multiple owners, so you want to make sure that they were the original one and it was from before January 15th of 2017.
Yep. Rob says, why does Scott get the hand-me-downs? I just don't think he wants to pay full price. I think that would basically be the big thing.
Yeah, and again, it's still a great car. I mean, I still
compared to the 75D he has, it's more range.
It's an upgrade. I mean, everything's about the same because he did finally get the MCU2 upgrade. So originally he had Autopilot 2.5 in his car because it's from December of 2017, whereas the S100D is from March of 2017. So it came with Autopilot 2. Scott's car came with Autopilot 2.5.
Yep.
But we upgraded the S100D to have Autopilot 3 hardware, and we upgraded to MCU2. Scott was going to stick with MCU1, but he went ahead and upgraded it too. But we upgraded other cameras. We upgraded the side repeater cameras. So it's a better car just with the battery because the range is so much better on the S100D versus the 75D.
Yeah,
and he does a lot of like road trips for work and stuff, so he could definitely take advantage of the additional range on the battery.
I mean, last road trip he did for work, he took that car anyway.
Yeah, he took it. But basically, it's originally had like 335 miles range at the full charge. Now it's still about 325 or something like that. So it has very little degradation in the S100D. His car, I can't remember the exact number if it was like 275 or something, but I think it still maxes out at like, I don't know if it's 250 or 230. I don't know because it's not my car. But basically, my car has like it's like 30% more range or something like that.
Yep. Jay Lee Official said, how do you guys think about the rumored Tesla hatchback? Or I know a couple people have said the Model 2. I mean, I'm in.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear details. Because who knows? That I don't think they're going to be announcing that tomorrow, but it will be announced sometime later this year, Elon said.
Yeah, I definitely think later this year. I think if they announced that before we really get any news on the Refresh S and X, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Or the Cybertruck. Yeah.
Or the Cybertruck, for that matter. I'm going to be a little disappointed personally. Let's see. Luck said, ever had to replace the 12 volt on a Model S? Car's telling me to change it. Mobile service coming this week.
Oh.
We have never had to.
We have never had to. And we've had, basically we have the Model S100D for over 4 years now, still on the original battery. I did see some oddness a couple months ago, probably back in February, where I was seeing the car charge like every hour or two, and it was some new behavior that just showed up in February after one of the latest software updates. We did have Tesla come out to test it. They looked at the battery and they didn't swap it out. They said, no, the battery's fine. And basically we got another software update within like a few days, and we have not seen that problem. So we were on the original battery. We haven't gone through having to replace it yet.
Yep. Let's see. Chris said, Refresh SNX coming to showroom in Huntington in 4 weeks. Interesting, because I'm just curious how you heard that. Because none of my contacts have told me anything. They've all been radio silent.
Hopefully they'll all be getting them within the next few weeks or so, because definitely we want to see those and see what other new features are.
Yeah. And Zoltan says Model X order page says May to June, whereas Model S says 10 to 14 weeks. Yeah, I don't know why it's so different.
Like if they're not updating things.
Or is it like, were they developed by different people? Because they use like a different nomenclature. One is months, one is weeks.
Yeah.
Let's uniform things, Tesla.
Another thing too, when we were talking about the S and the X, we've seen there's several pictures of the second row in the Model S. We haven't really seen anything in the Model X yet, and we do have on order a 6-seater, but it remains to be seen how are they going to have armrests yet? Because we've seen they do have armrests now in the Model S.
Charging.
Are they going to have Qi charging? Because otherwise, where are they going to put that in the X? We don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we want to switch to a 5-seater or 7-seater? I don't know. Do the 6-seaters fold flat? I don't know, because they haven't told us anything yet. So we don't know.
And on that note, we very well might change our order of our Model X. We might change it to a 5 or 7-seater.
Yeah.
I think if anything, we would probably go 7-seater.
Yeah.
I don't like 7-seaters because the back 2 seats, I don't know anyone small enough to really fit back there, especially with a solid back row. But the issue we like is, why do we like 7-seater?
I don't know.
The extra AC in the back.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why.
Well, okay. So,
that's one.
We've talked
versus
about
a 5-seater. Yes, versus a 5-seater.
We've talked about it a lot. And the 5-seater doesn't have extra AC vents in the back, whereas the 7-seater does. And if we have our dogs back there,
or if it has, I can't remember if it doesn't have the vents or it just doesn't have the second AC compressor or whatever like that.
I don't think it has the vents.
Okay, I don't remember.
It's
been
one
a
or
while
the
since
other.
I looked, and our car did have them. But that's something that. You could use those seats for shorter trips and stuff like that, or if you had smaller people that needed to sit back there. But I do like, we wouldn't lose too much cargo room with a 7-seater versus a 5-seater.
Right.
But I do like the 6-seater just because you can go down the center to sit in those rear seats, or you can have more leg room for people who are sitting in that third row. And I think 6-seat, again, that's why we chose 6 seats. Each time we've ordered an X, I originally had my reservation for an X back in 2016, but when I found out those second row seats didn't fold, I ended up canceling my order and going with the S. And again, we have another order. We bought a 6-seater, and now we have another order in for a 6-seater, but I don't know.
Yeah. Chris also said I wonder if we could see the map on the second row display in the refresh.
I would think
that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, as a passenger, I know you would like that a lot.
Or the kids always say, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Stuff like that. And I'm sure they'll have that ability. But it remains to be seen what all can be done with that second row screen.
Yep. Let's see. Where was it? Blackhouse Brew said, "Is the Tesla hitch bike rack any good?" So I tested. We did a hitch on the Model Y, and I went with a different brand.
But basically, the Tesla rack is just a rebranded. Is it Yakima or something?
It's a Yakima.
Is it the full tilt? I think.
I believe it is the full tilt.
Because Yakima has like a full tilt and a full swing, and we had the full swing, which was nice because you could swing it around and still open up the hatch. But it's basically the same one. You could get cheaper from if you go directly to Yakima.
Well, it's so.
It doesn't have the Tesla logo on it, though.
Yeah, so this right here is...
That's a full tilt.
The full tilt.
Yeah.
I don't know... I thought at one point they had the full swing. Maybe they don't anymore.
I don't.
Anyway, so they have the full tilt. I think it's like $500 if you get it direct or something like that. But the issue I had with this is I have
an e-bike.
An EV bike, if you will, mountain bike, and it's kind of heavy and it doesn't sit well on these very nicely. So I did a platform instead of a hanging like this, and I was a lot happier with the platform. Yeah. It just feels much more secure to me.
Yeah, we did a video. Was it last May? So it's been almost a year. Yep. Eric, we did a test video on that, and we showed how we had a rack similar to the full tilt, but it was a swing, so it swung out to the sides, and we were showing how the swing was nice because you could, if you were at a supercharger, you could get it further back, you could get into the hatch. The problem we had, like you said, it was hard, or it took a while to put those bikes on the bike rack. Yeah. And we switched to a different one that sits in the trays. You could put a bike in there within seconds instead of minutes. And so it was just a lot more convenient with the other bike rack we went with.
Yeah, and I've been really happy with it. I think it was a Thule XLT2
T2
Pro,
something
blah,
like
blah,
that.
blah. Yeah. It's a mouthful. But the nice thing is you can buy it as a 2-bike, and then you can add another 2-bike module to it. So I can either do 2 bikes or 4 bikes, and it takes maybe 5-10 minutes to be able to switch it between the two, but it's nice because if it's just me, 2 bikes is not a problem. But if we decide to have company, here you go, we get other people to go, I can do the full 4 if I want.
And again, just takes seconds to load into those trays.
Oh, it's so
Whereas
quick.
with this one, you actually had to buy some special little bars to
Yeah.
attach to the Yakima full swing.
Yep.
Because the straps or whatever, the bike wouldn't go on there with the default straps and stuff.
Exactly. So like if you have a road bike, the hanging option might not be terrible because they tend to be really light. If you have anything like a mountain bike or anything like that, I would definitely recommend the platform.
With the trays or whatever, yeah.
The platform for anything, to be honest. I've used it for the road bike. I've used it for the mountain bike. I've used it for everything, and it works really well. Let's see. Chris said, I was at the showroom today and asked the people what other cars are coming to the showroom. They said Refresh S and X. They also said deliveries of Refresh S starting in summer.
Oh, wow. See, it keeps... Originally, remember, they
Maybe we'll get Cybertruck first.
Yes, but remember, originally, it was supposed to be an 18-day shutdown.
I know.
And now they're talking... And we heard that, it's going to be next year for Australia, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
we're like, we're going to get it in February. And now it's like summer. So that's a long time to go without having any new S or X manufactured.
Right. And S and X are their higher
But hopefully
margin
that means
cars.
that they're going to have some... Maybe they just keep adding new content.
Maybe.
Because we've seen the what's the air vehicle?
The Lucid Air?
The Lucid Air.
Yeah.
That looked really nice and a lot of cool features. So maybe Tesla's like, we got to add more. We got to add more.
I mean, and it totally could be that a lot of these other companies are coming out with their own cars, and now Tesla's like, okay, what we originally had thought of for the refresh is not going to work. We need to up it. I'm okay with that, but I would like some more fluid conversation and some more like openness with Tesla because we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, again, we mentioned that for months.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they just sent out an email or something, because they have to have thousands of orders, and nobody, a lot of people are actually canceling their orders because there's no new information out, and there's some other competitors coming out, and people are starting to look elsewhere. But it'd be nice if they just gave us some news.
Yeah.
Put it on a blog or send out an email, something.
Yeah. Nelson said, most reviews I see about Tesla always complain about the lack of physical buttons. I'm tired of this. It's 2021.
Yeah,
you can ask Siri, Alexa, Google, anything, but you can't ask your car to do anything. Nonsense. So I am completely on board with that. I don't like buttons anymore. Like, we've seen other cars, and we're just like, what's going on?
Yeah, there was I can't remember, what was it a couple of weeks ago? There was, I don't know. I mean, we saw something this morning. But it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
That was really good with the controls, but I don't remember what it was. But there was just like controls everywhere. It's
well, I remember, I think it was like 6 years ago or something. I think it was before we even got Teslas. And we had like a Porsche Cayenne.
No, that was when
rental.
we went to an event, for a Tesla event.
Oh.
We were out there and you rented one. And there was like buttons on the left, there were buttons on the right, buttons on the steering wheel, buttons down the center console.
We're still waiting on delivery day for Refresh MX ordered December.
It's talking to us.
20, we have day 6/196.
Is everybody hearing this?
RTA in Superior said he would have some news soon. However, he has said this every...
Oh, did it just cut it off?
I don't know.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, but
I've
it
been
was-
playing around
I'm
with
like, what's
Streamlabs,
that?
and there's
What's
a
that?
way where you can like, well, first off, claps and chat for
Thanks
Daniel.
very
Thank you
much,
for the
Dan.
$20.
Yeah.
As soon as the dogs get out, we're gonna shoot some confetti. But super appreciative of the $20. Really appreciate that. I've been playing around with Streamlabs, and I've been trying to make it for like certain level donos to like read it out loud. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's why I really haven't like announced it. I think it's kind of fun. It's a more interactive way to give you guys like a voice. So I'm kind of playing around
But
with
he
it.
just interrupted us. That voice. No, that's
true.
That's
That
okay.
is
That's
true.
okay. I forgot what we were talking about. But yeah, we know we've been talking with Dan on chats here
Yeah.
for months.
Because we were gonna take delivery
and we-
potentially the same time.
Yeah, and go up, or else go up and meet him for
Yeah.
his delivery because it's not too far away
But
for
his
us.
dates of 6/19 to 6/30 have disappeared.
Well, and see, we've never seen dates on ours, and that's weird. So I'm guessing he ordered his after.
he said he ordered 12/6.
So that's actually before ours.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen too many people that had ordered before the announcement that actually had delivery dates. We have
Yeah.
never seen delivery dates for our S or X.
Real quick, since the dogs are out.
Whoa, that's loud. Woohoo, confetti.
Confetti!
Yeah, we need to get like quieter. Oh, look, okay, safety patrol.
Out there.
So,
We'll get some
yeah,
more
we go.
digital
Yes,
confetti
it's
too.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so funny, my Tesla advisor, oh look,
Layden.
here comes Layden, she
Yes.
just came trotting in.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes.
My Tesla advisor contact in Superior has also said they don't have any news, but hopefully they have something soon. But again, we've been hearing that since January.
Yep. Yeah, since end of January. So, but yeah, definitely keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't yet, Daniel, like send me a DM on Twitter or even an email. There's the email down below, and that way we can keep in touch that way in case something happens and it's not a live stream. That way we can like make sure that we're all good. Look, Layden's like, what happened? I heard something.
No more playing with the cap gun. Yeah, the confetti gun.
But thank you for the dono. I really do appreciate that.
But yeah, I think we're all kind of just in the same boat. Nobody has any estimated dates. There's been very few that have been seen in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Some were shipped out, but I don't know. Those were probably demo models or ones going out to store, because we do know that they have been spotted in the Denver area. There was at least one mule that made it through the Denver area a few weeks back, so they are driving them around the country, so keep your eyes open for them.
Yeah, if you see any pictures too, make sure you post them on like Twitter or whatever and tag us and we'll retweet it or whatever.
There's a few of them out there, but just nothing being delivered yet.
Yeah. So we were talking about buttons in cars in the Porsche Cayenne. How the whole center console was just littered with buttons.
It's just because you're like, what? It looked like the old Star Trek.
It looked like a cockpit.
But the old Star Trek series where there's just hundreds of
yeah.
buttons, and you're like, how do that's not?
Yeah.
You can't find anything on that.
But I agree, and I actually, to Nelson's point, I think it would be nice if Tesla had something where you could just be like, okay, Tesla, or whatever.
Yep.
You don't have to press a button, because I mean, pressing a button's not bad to enable voice commands. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice if it was more incorporated.
I think they might. That would probably be a thing where you have to opt in to, so it's always listening to you.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like that, I definitely think giving people that chance to be like, yes, I want to do that.
But it's not so hard now, because I mean, it does have a lot of functionality with if you push the voice button now.
Yes.
So, and as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, they have some interesting Easter eggs.
Go ahead and tell them the most recent one, because I saw some people talk about it in chat.
Okay, it was
the butthole?
Open butthole is one that if you push the button and say open butthole, it will open the charge port. And I hadn't seen it, but I went and tested, and I found open anus also works. And so, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, but if you have somebody new in your car, you can say, hey, what's this? And say open butthole, and it will open up your charge port.
Speaking of, we got smell-o-vision here because Layden just farted. So, thanks for that. Okay, so where was I? Jason said, do you ever have a car full of people? I feel like a 5 or 7-seater would be great for you and the dogs. And so I've thought about it a lot. And definitely, if we don't get the 6-seater, I think the 7 is what we would get. So we can get that extra air compressor or air vents, whatever it was, in the back.
I just remember, like, with the 6-seater, I like it because you could fold one of the seats back down, and then you could have, like, maybe one dog on the floor, but you could have also another dog on one of the rear seats, and then you could sit in the other rear seat and then have your feet there, too. So a 6-seater is still the best option for us, but, again, it would be nice if you could fold those seats down.
Yeah. So
it's possible in other cars that have, like, captain seats that have seat belts integrated into them, so Tesla should be able to figure that out as well.
The other option, which, hear me out, I'm going to go out on a limb here, just bear with me, is if we got a 7-seater and the middle row, I just removed it. I saw one of those and it looked really cool.
You have like a lot of leg room there.
A ton of leg room, but that means the rear 2 seats are now more usable, and then there's a ton of room on the floor for the dogs. So maybe I could just remove those. But
then you're limited on the number of people, that you can have.
But how often do I really have 5 people?
That's true. We don't typically need it.
Like the most people I think I normally have in my car, I guess we've had 5 people occasionally, like if we take my parents out to eat. But normally they just meet us somewhere if we're going to do something. We haven't been out to eat in a year and a half. But I think like normally it would just be like you and Scott. And if we're doing something at work where I need people, I'll just have somebody else drive as well. I think removing a middle row could be kind of a good idea.
I've seen it done, yes. I'm guessing though that you probably get some error codes because it's going to like where the seats go.
The funny thing though is on the Model 3 when you remove the seats, because when we gutted it, no error codes from the rear.
Interesting.
So you might not.
I guess, yeah, maybe it's in the passenger airbags for the front seats.
Right.
So that's
because the front seats have the weight sensors
and stuff. Yeah.
The rear seat only has like seat belt and stuff and weight sensors. So like that, I don't know.
Interesting.
Food for thought, but that's kind of like what I think would be cool. Otherwise, though, yes, like you said, we love the 6-seater. It just looks sleek. It's nice. I don't know.
A little more seating room, but also more leg room for the people in the third row.
Stuff we have to decide on before the X comes down, I guess. Let's see. Brio said, how the reliability on the latest X, would you order it over a Y? If I had infinite money and like it wasn't an option, I would probably order an X over a Y.
Yeah, we do, and we still love the Y. That's the car that
love
we
it.
probably use the most around town now, just because it's the most versatile, because it's got more car room, more room for the dogs. It uses less energy than like an X, but definitely if you want the most room, the X is going to be the winner there.
And doesn't the X have more range too then, technically?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, depending which version you get.
right. Yes.
But the long range one or long range plus, whatever the older ones were.
Yeah. Let's see. Matt said the 6-seater's the best in every way except for not folding. Agreed.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's what we're hoping for, is the refresh will actually feature a folding captain's chairs.
Yeah,
Other car manufacturers do it.
Minivans have had it for years, so Tesla should be able to do that. And when they had the old pedestal, remember then they had the pedestal seat in the 7-seater?
Yep.
That was totally different. They should be able to do it, but we'll see.
Yeah. James said, do you think Tesla UI will get an update before the V9 release? Really love the Cybertruck screen UI we got a glimpse at. I think that potentially could be one of the other things they're waiting
Delaying
on. Is
things, yeah.
If we get a new UI, we're definitely only going to see it on the refresh S and X's for a little bit of time.
Initially, yeah.
Because they want to give some exclusivity to people buying those refreshes, but I think it's going to roll over 100%.
Yeah.
In
Eventually,
time.
it's just also though they would have been written for that new hardware, and they might have to change it slightly to work on older cars. So I definitely think that's probably what's holding things up.
Yeah, and that's what Tesla does every time they have like something new, is it works for the ones currently being delivered, and then they go back and make it available for previous cars as they make things compatible. It takes a lot of time to do that regression testing and everything. Let's see.
And Organica is talking about full self-driving subscription. That's something we've been waiting.
Oh, yeah.
And for like a year.
Elon tweeted
and
about it, too.
We had videos last year talking about what we think, how much it will cost, and whether you should get it or not. Currently on our orders for the S and X, we do still have full self-driving ordered. But if they do come out with the subscription, before then, or Elon saying, okay, did he say next quarter or next month? I forget what his.
I think he said next month. Let me look it up.
But basically, they keep saying, okay, it's going to come next quarter, next year, whatever. But he finally said definitely. So I think that's coming very soon. And again, that's maybe what's another software issue, because they want to be able to turn that on and off. And while that's something they can do currently, if they might be packaging it different as a subscription. So it's something that we would definitely be interested in. While we're not interested really in subscriptions, if it could save us $10,000 and we'd only have to pay $1,000 or $2, that's still a lot of money per year, but it would be cheaper overall, because we don't tend to keep our Teslas very long because we like to upgrade.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his recent tweet. Do you want to take another question while I look for that? Yeah,
and then Jason Perez, he's hoping that they will have a full self-driving subscription because he's doing a road trip in May. And that's another thing too, is we don't know, is the subscription going to have a minimum length? Can you do it for 30 days, or are they going to want you to do it for 6 months or a year? It remains to be seen. And a lot of people too that might still have older cars with Autopilot 2 and Autopilot 2.5, it seems like Tesla would probably require a minimum subscription commitment if they're going to give you that hardware upgrade to get the hardware 3 computer. So if you already have hardware 3, then maybe you could just do it month to month. We don't know. But definitely be something to try out on road trips. Navigate on Autopilot is really nice. And again, our Model S, which has full self-driving, it had enhanced autopilot and then full self-driving, and the enhanced autopilot is pretty much all the functionality we have available now. And definitely always use we use Navigate on autopilot all the time, especially on road trips. Haven't really used the auto park very often. Use Summon every once in a while, but the biggest functionality for us is like Navigate on autopilot or just auto lane change. It's so convenient. But I can't see somebody buying new paying like $10,000 just for those features, because we got it as part of enhanced autopilot for half that price a few years ago.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to find it. I can't find it. So I'm gonna phone a friend here and ask anyone in live chat if you guys remember what he said, because I can't find it. He has a lot of tweets. We'll say that. Let's see. Where were we? Justin said, does it seem like Tesla did a 180 with their policy of transparency, as you were talking about? I feel like their earlier years were known for being open, especially directly through Elon and Twitter. I think it not necessarily maybe a 180, but as the company has grown and all that, they definitely kind of have been a little bit more cautious, especially with Elon getting in a little bit of Twitter trouble.
A couple of times, yeah. Several
Costing
times.
Upwards of $40 million, other
fines,
lawsuits.
yeah.
I think part of that lawsuit from, I believe it was the FCC over the going private, which cost Elon $20 million, Tesla $20 million.
Funding secured.
Yeah, funding secured. That exactly, that's the one. They had to kind of like rein in his Twitter tweets, just tweets, I guess.
Yeah.
And basically, he has to be careful what he says, because a lot of people can be affected by stuff. So he has to be careful. But I definitely think Tesla themselves could be a little bit more transparent.
And we know that they don't have like a marketing department anymore,
Yeah.
and they don't do any sort of advertising. But really, it wouldn't cost much at all for them to send out an email or to do a blog post, because they used to post blog stuff, every few months or
Yeah.
so, and talking about here's Autopilot's been released, and there's all-wheel drive, and so they used to do that more in the past, and then they added it so they can actually do announcements, directly in the app, but they haven't done anything recently. What?
I can't say too much.
What?
It's keep an eye on their blog posts.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
We
Definitely-
can't.
Yeah, but definitely they used to do their blog posts a lot more often.
Maybe some will be coming back.
Yeah, but I wish they did more blog posts, because it's like it doesn't really cost anything. You can have one person that manages the blog or one person that sends out a bulk email, and they don't need to spill the beans on everything, but they could just leak some, here's a few new features that you can look forward to in the new SNX.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's see. Robert said, buy a Tesla with Bitcoin and then pay huge tax afterwards. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess I'm gonna pull out my hands here. You have Bitcoin and everything. Okay, lately Bitcoin's way down here, but it seems like crypto in general, if you get the right one, we're up trail. If you buy a car, it's gonna start high and it's gonna start to go down. I wouldn't buy a depreciating asset such as a car with an appreciating asset such as crypto.
Yeah, because like you mentioned before,
Those are the lines.
He's paid cash before, and I did a large down payment when I bought my first Tesla. But with interest rates so low, sometimes it can be better to actually just to finance it, or at least part of it, and use that money elsewhere.
Exactly. So I admit I got in trouble with my friend. A longtime friend is actually my accountant. He's been doing my stuff for a long time, and he always told me don't pay cash for the car. The reason I paid cash for a couple of them, but the reason I paid cash for that one is because literally the day before, the bank called me. It was Alliant, so if you're watching Alliant, please stop. And I was fully funded and everything, and they called me the day before, and they said, oh, we don't trust your business income, even though you have like your past year's W-2 showing that it's profitable and everything, and your levels. Because,
and you have the money in the bank.
And I have the cash in the bank. But they said that they don't trust my other income because it doesn't make sense to them. So my other income, as many of you know, I dabbled in the world of reptiles, and I can be quite successful with that. And they were like, there's no way you can make that kind of money breeding reptiles. And so the day before I was to take delivery, they said, instead of going from 100% finance to zero, they wouldn't give me anything. So I said, screw you, Alliant, and I just paid cash for it. Joke's on them. I will never use Alliant in my life. But I haven't had any issue. No other banks have had any issue. Why would I pay taxes on income that I didn't make? No idea. But Alliant thought I was, so. Sorry, I don't like Alliant. But again, if you have the cash, my advice, not investment advice or anything, is don't pay all the car because, yeah, I don't like having debt either. But at the same point, I can do way more with the money and take on a little debt that I can easily pay and end up positive in the end. Let's see. Roger said apparently that command works on dogs as well because that's when Layden farted. Daniel, he ordered a 7-seater. Good call. That is a very good call. Up in Superior.
Yep, Superior.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Earning report tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, so I guess on that note, we will be live tomorrow as well. So that we can kind of go over that. And hopefully we hear something exciting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a letdown.
And we'll try not to interrupt them, so we probably won't be talking. We'll talk a little bit at the beginning, but once they do start doing the call, we'll probably just be quiet, and we'll be on chat, just making comments that way. And then once the call's over, then we'll jump on them and start discussing things with you guys.
Definitely. We'll see how long their question and answer section takes. Sometimes it can go a little long, but we'll probably just listen to that because there might be some good questions that we want the answer to. And if you are a Tesla investor, you can actually vote on those questions at say.com. You have to sign up and everything, link it all. But you can actually go vote on which questions you prefer to have answered. I still think the final call is up to them on if they want to answer it or not. But
we have seen though in the past that like I think it was last call or the one before that where like the top 10 questions,
top 10,
they did like every single one, even though some of them are almost exactly the same.
Yeah,
it's like they just you think that somebody would like, okay, we already answered this one, but I did go and vote on several of those.
I did, yes. So definitely go check those out. Michael said, I can't stand it when people use destination chargers and don't wrap the cord back up. I agree. If you're using a charger, it takes 2 seconds. I've also seen people at superchargers unplug and just drop it from where they're standing and get back into their car.
Wow.
And I would have yelled at them if they weren't many superchargers away and just immediately left. But they literally just and left it. It's like,
I know,
how long does that take?
Yeah, it's like a foot
2
away.
seconds.
It's like, look.
Yeah. Oh, look.
It's
yeah,
like,
live reaction. Somebody timed
Here it
this.
is. It's plugged in.
Go. Done.
So that's it.
Somebody timed that. It was fast.
But one thing I have noticed though, in some places where it's really windy, we've been some places where we found all of the cables like on the ground. We're like, seriously, who did this? And then we realized, oh yeah, there's like 80-mile-per-hour winds, and unfortunately, they're not windproof. And so it would be nice if Tesla, especially in some of those windy locations like Wyoming, if they maybe come out with a better way of securing that in the supercharger.
Yeah, I agree. Matt said, what if they made a 6-seater that could fold flat or swivel? Swivel would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I would be down with that.
Because we've seen some prototypes or some mock-ups for other cars where they show the seats rotating around so you can like face people in the last row. So that would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on that, but that would be nice.
Yeah. Brio said, thanks, guys. I'm just concerned about the reliability. Read too many negative comments about the X. My brother ordered one in 2021, but I wasn't sure if I'd recommend it. So the earlier models had some issues with the Falcon Wing doors, not gonna lie. That was kind of a big issue for Tesla, but at the same point, it's what made the X the X. Now, over the years, they've had so many iterations and little fixes.
The constant improvements. They always
even our 2019 we had 0 issues with.
Yep.
So I definitely think over the years the reliability has gotten way better. A lot of the complaints and everything I've heard of were older models that, the Falcon Wing doors early on caused a lot of issues for sure. Let's see. Where were we? Jason. Oh yeah, that was the end of May road trip. Got it. You answered that. James said, what's the point of the Roadster if they're providing a 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds on Plaid Model S, half the price and more seats also? The Roadster's supposed to get more range, but that's what makes me kind of think like there's something else they're holding back. Potentially this SpaceX package. Maybe that will be included on the Roadsters to make sure they can hit 1.7 or something. Because in theory, you can't really get faster than like I think it's like 1.87 just because of like traction. Traction is like your enemy on that. You can spin your tires crazy fast, but you're not going to go anywhere. So Tesla needs to do something to like beat traction, basically.
But yeah, but it does remain to be seen. Like if the price of the Plaid S is mid 150 or so like that, what is that extra 100,000 going to get you? On
A Plaid Plus.
The Plaid Plus. What is the extra 100,000 going to get you on the next gen Roadster? It remains to be seen. Unless it's we don't know. It'd be nice to get some more information on that Roadster and what the differences are going to be.
Definitely. Let me see. Oh, other things that irritate people, and I agree with Luck. Trash at superchargers. If you're there, just take it with you if there's no trash can.
But I mean, I think almost every supercharger we've been there, it's either at a hotel or a gas station or something. There's usually a trash can nearby.
Yeah, but if there isn't, take it with you. Be responsible. Let's not let these start looking like gas stations. See what I did there? Let's see. Jose said maybe they'll require hardware 2.5 owners to purchase the hardware upgrade first before eligible for FSD.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, and it remains to be seen. Hopefully we'll have that information next month.
Yeah, there's just so many things. Like, we haven't heard a lot on a lot. Let's see.
And we did know, too, for a lot of people, I don't know if they're still doing it, but if you were doing the MCU2 upgrade, they were upgrading the Autopilot computer as well. And a lot of people got that upgrade, even if they didn't purchase full self-driving.
Yeah. Yep. The tweet was from April 14th. And basically, he said it's next month for sure. Elon time. So, I guess we'll see if that comes out. Let me see. I think we've kind of like covered most everything. I think we're basically there.
Yeah, but also we're going to be back tomorrow, so I think we're going to like wind things up for tonight. Just got to take care of a few things and then be ready for tomorrow.
And the dog is really kind of bored with what we're doing right now. I don't know what she's staring
at the wall. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, though, really appreciate everyone hanging out, and thank you guys so much for the super chats. Not necessary, but really do appreciate it. As always, though, if you haven't checked out our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean's website, and you're looking to accessorize your Model SX3 or Y, definitely do so. They've been a huge help. They make all this possible, so we really can't thank them enough. And Model Y mud flaps coming this week, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I guess we will see you all tomorrow. We'll schedule the live stream in the morning, so make sure if you jump on YouTube, maybe like 10 a.m. Mountain Time, it should be scheduled. Definitely follow along so you can be notified when we go live, so that way you can tune in for that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some really exciting news tomorrow about the Refresh SNX, the Cybertruck, as well as Tesla being profitable for yet another quarter. But we'll see you all tomorrow. Feels weird to say tomorrow instead of next week, but we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.